So if you see me look down, I'm just timing myself. Well, it's a pleasure for me to be here with all of you today, sharing on a topic that is near and dear to me and has really changed the trajectory of how I live my life today. That topic is, if you didn't see it on the website, is personal and workplace mindfulness. Woo! So who here is familiar with mindfulness or the practice of mindfulness? Some of you are. Great. So my hope for everyone today is that it's all good, is that you will leave here with a takeaway of maybe understanding if you don't know what it is, and if you are familiar with it, you'll learn a little bit more. If I have time, I'll kind of give you a mini backstory of why I even care and am connected about mindfulness. So to get started, you probably need a good understanding of what the heck is mindfulness. You ready? I know. Okay, everybody's looking at me. Great. So mindfulness is this. It is being very present, aware, and attuned into what is going on in the very moment that it is. So all of you seated at the table, there we go, mindfully listening to that, listening to me, you're being mindful. So it doesn't require any special courses, learning a certain personality type. It is something that each of us is available to each of us. And that's what we're doing right now. All of you, by listening to me, coming in here with the intent of doing some networking, have put on your ability to be present and mindful of meeting new people, learning something new, and finding that takeaway. So that's all mindfulness is. It's being present and aware of what's going on in this moment, using your 5 senses, which you'll be using when you eat lunch, using your internal dialogue, maybe like noticing what are the thoughts, feelings, and emotions in my mind, and your physical environment. Oh, the weather is really warm. It's really warm outside today. So you are always incorporating internal and external things. And if you're like most of us, myself included, we live in a very fast-paced world, autopilot or hamster wheel. When we get up and our intent is to go, do, to the point where we're so busy trying to get everything done and forecasting how we could have done something better in the past with a customer or client and what we're going to do, we're out of the very moment that we have. Really, the only moment we have is this moment. It's really fascinating to me that we spend so much time going to the past. How could I have done that better? How could I have fixed that if only? Or looking into the future. What am I going to do next? How can I really nail that meeting or that engagement? So we're taking ourselves out of having a deeper sense of connecting to and communicating, because all of our energy is, a lot of it's going to the past or to the future rather than really being in this moment. So with all of that being said, gee, I'm doing fine as it is. Why does mindfulness matter? Good question. As I learned in my life when I was so busy, caught up in constantly going to the next event, getting that thing done, checking that box off, I wasn't fully present. And so I did a lot of reacting, quickly judging and maybe getting angry or frustrated or, worst case scenario. So when we begin to implement being present and mindful, we have a deeper ability to regulate our emotions. When we can regulate our emotions, guess what? We can connect more deeply with everyone here in the room. We can actually communicate more clearly and more honestly, rather than going by a set or presumption of what we think is going to happen, or this is what happened before. So we have a deeper ability to really live more abundantly and fully. And what that gives us is a greater sense of satisfaction and well-being and balance in our lives, rather than feeling we're chasing behind our lives or always just a little bit behind. So it really matters in having a more full, thriving life. Some really incredible benefits of the practice of mindfulness. There have been a lot of scientific studies and research. Well, number one is it reduces stress. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for ways to reduce stress. I mean, sometimes just driving through traffic, you're reacting to that. So if you're able to begin to implement that lifestyle practice of mindfulness, you're going to reduce stress. That's going to, in place, increase your immunity. Practicing mindfulness has the ability to, over time, to decrease the prevalence of lifestyle diseases, diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, cardiovascular. It can improve sleep. It can help you to maintain and reduce weight, maybe be more consistent with things that you want to do. And again, it just gives you everybody the overall ability to thrive and be more content and happy in all of their life, rather than when something really, quote, good happens versus, when something really, not as good. So you just have that beautiful, more full, deep connection. Workplace mindfulness, something that we're probably, why we're all here today. We work independently as a consultant or have clients on the side or even in the workplace. The benefits are different but very similar. Number one, again, is that stress reduction. So if the corporate culture adopts some of the practices of being more intentional and mindful as a whole, well, guess what? That underlying current of stress, or one department over the other, they're going to have a reduction in stress. And that's going to trickle down in a reduction in employee sick days, being sick, needing to take time off work. So those two, guess what? They're going to increase possibility of greater productivity, greater resilience, an increase in focus and creativity. So with all of these positive things, by just being really present and mindful, we're going to foster an increase in productivity, creativity, focus, really good communication, and make the culture one where employees have a greater response, like, oh, I'm really satisfied, I like where I work. And that's going to bubble up and give workplace harmony instead of workplace stress, or a lot of people constantly quitting that job, wanting to find another job. Some places have a really high turnover rate. So when you want to go to your workplace, that's going to make more people want to work there. People are going to just normally work better. So that's a big deal. With all that being said, you're like, well, I'm really busy. I'm not, mindfulness is something I just learned today. But I think I might want to start that. Well, good news. Mindfulness, as I came to learn, it is a lifestyle practice. It's not learn it today, either do it or don't do it. It took me years, a little bit over time. I had the ability, when I first came in contact, that I was really aware of what I didn't have, that when I did find something, oh, okay. So it was a little by little over time. It wasn't either get it or don't get it. So that's my encouragement to you where you're at. The first step available to all of us is being self-aware, actually noticing. Like when you drove to work here today, were you just intent on getting there, making it through traffic? Don't really know how I got there. Did you notice how you felt when you got up this morning? What did you eat, if you ate anything? What kind of conversation did you have? What was your last conversation like? So it's basically being more present and involved with everyday mundane things. How do you feel when you get up in the morning? How is your conversational flow with your consult or your clients or your coworkers? Again, it's not like I've got to incorporate everything, so gee, why not bother? What I did was I picked up on one little habit. I used that to begin to increase my ability to be present and mindful with myself, in my relationships, and how it showed up. I teach a lot of fitness classes. I do speaking and I do writing. So it slowly began to layer itself in all of my life. Okay, good. So that's the one thing each of us have available to us, to go from autopilot or hamster wheel mode, where we're constantly in action, constantly going. Even when we go to bed, maybe your mind is always going over, oh my God, the day was good, or waking up with, ooh, that thought. So we have the ability to think, wait a minute, do I want to wake up stressed out when my day hasn't even started? That sucks. Wait a minute, I'm going to wake up knowing that I feel pretty good. I'm awake. Okay, I'm going to get out of bed. Just doing that one thing, knowing that you've got everything you need to get your booty out of bed because you woke up. And you have the ability to decide, I'm going to start my day in a good frame of mind, knowing that maybe I have some unexpected things that may occur. Or maybe I have a heavy day of a lot of deadlines or quotas, or I'm going to have a really tough meeting or conversation. But I get to be present in this morning time moment before I leave, that I get to just tell myself that I have permission to be calm and focused in the things that are going to be given to me. Even doing that one little thing in the morning can set you up to begin to be more present in all of the day, all of the things that are yours. And that's how I did. I didn't slay the dragon. I wasn't mindful in every moment. There were times when I didn't remember what I had eaten that day or what I had done. I was so busy with this big to-do list. But I knew if I started small with mornings, that I could use that to begin to grow and build the lifestyle habit that was going to factor into my work conversations, my one-on-one coaching with clients, and how I showed up to teach classes. But believe it or not, this is funny. When I would teach yoga classes before, when I was on autopilot mode, I remember being so stressed out because I had forgotten something or I had so much to do. Go in and supposed to teaching a mind-body class, stressed out. Something's wrong with that. So I knew I had to make some changes. And that is what each of us can do. Maybe think of one thing that you can do if you have a client meeting this afternoon, you've got work to do at the office. How can you be really mindful and bring yourself into the work you're doing that has compassion and care versus stress and chaos? So that's what the practice is, just bringing in that one thing that you can do that will eventually become a really good habit that factors into your work and your career and your personal life. There you go. I'm Nancy. If you have questions, I'm here throughout the meeting, and it's my pleasure to share this very important lifestyle topic that factors into our personal life and so much into our workplace as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.